I am very, very happy to invite, and again, I apologize for pronunciation, Lourdes Gonzales Perea. I hope I pronounced it well. She is the head of the Technical Accessibility Department at another amazing partner. We are so proud to work with and be friends with, the ONCE Foundation from Spain, and Paloma Campos, head of the Personal Autonomy Department of the Universal Accessibility and Innovation Directorate of the ONCE Foundation for Cooperation and Social Inclusion of People with Disabilities. Long titles, but I know you have a lot to share. So you will talk about how to assist people with disabilities in emergency from the experience of ONCE. Please.
Hello, I am Lourdes. I'm from Malaga. My hair is brown and curly, and I'm dressed in blue. I using sunglasses because I am blind. Well, thank you for inviting us to talk about the experience of Fundación ONCE regarding the emergencies and how to assist people with disabilities. Fundación ONCE collaborated on an European project coordinated by the government of Andalusia, Junta Andalucía. Other organizations from Spain and Portugal participated in it. The name of the project is CILIFO. CILIFO means Iberian Center for Prevention in Forest Fire. And in this project, Fundación ONCE developed different actions to generate knowledge about disabilities and emergencies. For example, awareness events for different places from Spain and Portugal, 3 editions of an online course, a mobile application, and a white paper with the knowledge of this project. Regarding the online course, it has 5 modules. We had 2,000, almost 2,000 students, and 65% of participants were emergencies professionals. The topics of this course were information about self-protection and prevention in the case of fire, needs of people with disabilities, assistive technologies in this context, accessible communication, and guide for blind people, and evacuation for people with reduced mobility. About the mobile application, its name is CILIFO SOS. The objective is to offer information about self-protection and how to assist people with disabilities in an emergency, and it is available on iOS and Android platform. The languages of this application is Spanish and Portuguese. Finally, we wrote a white paper with the knowledge of this project. For example, this paper includes the content of the online course, and the publication is available on Fundación ONCE library. The languages of this publication are English, Spanish, and Portuguese. If you want, you can use the QR code that is in the screen to access the publication. This project is very important for us because generate synergies with different organizations. For example, with Civil War, Guardia Civil in Spain, we prepare a training about how to assist people with disabilities on St. James Way, el Camino de Santiago in Spain. And then we created an online course for the Red Cross about how to assist people with disabilities on the beach. Finally, for Vigiles Professional Institute, We prepare online course and in-person experience about how to assist people with disabilities in the case of the fire. Now my colleague Paloma will be talking about how to assist people with disabilities in the case emergency. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lourdes. I am Paloma. I am a white woman with brown hair and brown eyes, and I'm wearing a gray sweater and a black jacket. And I'm going to tell you something about the aspects inside those trainings we prepared. One of the most appreciated aspects was the possibility to see real examples and to receive some advice on how to communicate with people with different disabilities. For example, in the case of visually impaired people, it is important to understand that they will not be able to follow visual signals or detect some of the situations that are occurring. And therefore, we will have to make our presence known and use other channel of communication. Some tips are: identify yourself, say who you are, guide appropriately, blind person touches the arm or the shoulder of the person helping them, and the guide dogs must be always with their owners. Hearing impairment people are at disadvantage in emergency situation because they don't perceive the alarm signals in the environment. And even those who have residual hearing may not be able to identify the point of origin of these signals and may not understand the messages. In addition, it is generally an invisible disability, so people in the environment may not know that the person is not understanding what is happening. Some tips are: if a deaf person has his back turned and does not react to a call, touch his shoulder. Remove your masks so they can read your lips, and give them auditive information in alternative ways, such as gestures, image, or other visual resources. Physical disability is very diverse. There may be people who, even with difficulties, are autonomous in their movements, others who need support products, or some that will have mobility difficulties, but only in their upper limbs. So it is very diverse. People with more motor impairments usually use different types of wheelchairs, and some of them may be accompanied by a personal assistant. Some tips are: speak directly to the person with a disability and not to their assistant. Do not assume that just because they have motor difficulties or are in a wheelchair, they have complete disability. Some may even provide assistance during the emergency. People with physical disabilities often use assistive products. If you don't know how to use any of these, ask for help. Do not lean on a wheelchair. And if you have to help the person out of a forested area or a building, make sure the person has their assistive products. Most of the advice that we point out to address people with intellectual disability should be applied to all people, since beyond being able to present difficulties of comprehension, attention, etc., in an emergency situation, any person can see limited their capacity of comprehension and reaction due to fear, anxiety, worry, anguish. And in an emergency situation, any person could use those tips, like use short sentences, avoid sentences in negative form, avoid figurative language, avoid the use of acronyms, avoid compound verbs and repeat the subject, deliver a message in every sentence, avoid technical words, and use pictures, pictograms, and examples. One good practice regarding pictograms is that Guardia Civil, this public security corps that Lourdes have talked before, has created a guide with pictograms to facilitate communication with people with cognitive and communication difficulties, whether due to disability or other reasons. And those are examples of the content you can find in this training we prepared for Filifo. an example of a good practice regarding how to manage this situation with people with disabilities. So thank you very much.
Great. Thank you so much. And I am writing notes because, this is part of the community, to learn from each other and enhance whatever we're doing. And definitely important points that you raised, both of you here.